Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm GhostPrime. I want to take a step back to 1984 and look at the very first Autobot to appear in the cartoon, Generation 1 Wheeljack. Yes, he was the very first Autobot or bot to appear at all in the Transformers cartoon.
There's not enough energy in these conductors to last a Cortex.
The toy started his life as a Diaclone like most of the other ones and was one of the first runs. And he turns into a Lancia Stratos. And it has a Italia livery for Italia Racing. And it's just a beautiful alt mode. An absolutely wonderful car. And as a character, he was very, very influential on Transformers. He had a bunch of different gadgets, lots of episodes throughout season 1 and 2. But a couple of standout episodes is where he created the Dinobots. And that was his huge contribution to the Autobots, was the Dinobots. And then he met his demise in Transformers the movie, and it was off screen, which is just a disservice to do to such a fantastic character.
We gotta get this launcher into place.
A grisly scene and not a good send-off for such a great character. So if this is your first time here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, leave me a comment down in the comment section. I love to hear comments. Without any further ado, let's get to the review. I started off with a picture of the box here. I love this box art. It is wonderful. It is one of the few that are just designed beautifully, and I believe that's the same box art as on the Diaclone. It is an absolutely gorgeous looking box. I also don't have the instructions, but I'm gonna go ahead and put across the screen an instruction sheet here so you can take a look at the instructions for this guy. Eventually, I'll probably end up getting instructions in a box if I find them at a good price. All right, we are gonna start off with a look at this guy in car mode, and what a beautiful car this is. He is a gorgeous car mode, rolls exceptionally well. And he has rubber tires, this absolutely beautiful Lancia, and even you can open that up there for a driver cockpit, which is originally for a Diaclone driver. And this is a 1984 version. As you can tell, it does not have a rub sign. Just a wonderful, wonderful stickers. And one of the things you do really have to look out for are stickers that are messed up. Mine only has a little mess up right there. I did buy this in the secondary market, but it's in exceptional condition. It's a wonderful machine. The real car is just gorgeous, and this is a beautiful car. I mean, I love race cars. If you love race cars, you know what I'm talking about. This thing's a wonderful car, and he does come with some accessories. So he has these two wings right here. He has 4 of these missiles, which originally would have come on a sprue. So let's take a look at the wings real fast. They have some detail on them, kind of mechanical looking. And he has 2 of these launchers, which just clip on in robot mode. You cannot store these in vehicle mode. Now they do have very, very weak springs. That one's so weak I won't put out anymore. There we go. Very weak springs, as they were neutered by Hasbro in the 80s. Japanese versions, reissues, do have much stronger springs that will shoot out. Kind of glad it doesn't, because I don't want to lose any of these pieces here. And because it's within reach, here is my custom Jazz. I'll show off just for a size comparison and how he looks with other Generation 1 vehicles. This is a Jazz I made in 2001 or so. His name's Heavy Metal, but that's how they look. Kind of get an idea. Here he is with Generation 1 Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. So you get an idea of just the size of the Generation 1s all together there. Now, transformation for this guy is super simple, as with most Transformers from the era. You just extend the legs just like that. And then what we're going to do is take the arms here, move the camera up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So you take these, and they just come out like that. It's on the pin there, right? So they just come straight out, pull out, and go ahead and take his fists, extend them around, turn them back around. And what I like to do with these, you can take these off and set them aside, but what I like to do is just kind of swing them up like that behind the arm. Then what you want to do is you have these little pieces here, and they are kind of like that. So you can slide them out and open the doors. You don't really have to do this step if you don't want to, but it is part of it. So it kind of slims them down the waist a little bit. You could go ahead and just move his arms down and around. Turn this to reveal the head. Then take his feet. And then what you want to do is extend them, separate them. So these are really tight on mine. Yours might be loose. It depends on just how time has treated your copy. All right, got them apart. What it does is it sort of locks the legs in place, so he just kind of stands up. And so this is him in robot mode without his accessories. Now he does have his wings or whatever these are, these pieces. They do go on the outside here. See, there's these two little nubs, and they just kind of friction on there. And I can imagine over time these get loose. Luckily, these are not, and they are nice and tight. So they kind of go out like that. And then you could take his launchers, see that little clip. And now what that will do is clip on to the bar right there. Just got to be very careful with these so they don't break, because it is a point of breakage for both sides. There we go. And then you go ahead and just get those missiles in there. Just like so. And there he is in robot mode. A couple things to note is his hands do become kind of floppy over time. So they will hang like this, but luckily if you get a good copy, mine could look pretty good. But in robot mode, he doesn't have a lot for articulation, especially with the shoulders on there. The shoulder mounted cannons on there. He only has about that. He can get his arm all the way full 360 without that on there. He has 360 on the head. And well, that's about it for articulation, but you can get him looking around. So that's kind of cool for a Generation 1. And he has a ton of stickers. He is definitely a beautiful looking robot. And very, I would say, kind of accurate to the cartoon, with the exception of only having one launcher in the cartoon. He has two in the toy. And as a toy, he's not super tall. Here's how he compares to Mirage, Prowl, Bumblebee, Optimus Prime. So he's not a very big boy. But I think that is, I guess, fairly accurate to what he would be in the cartoon, which is funny because size doesn't account for anything in Generation 1. So it's nice that these actually scale quite appropriately. So there you go. Let's get into my final thoughts about this guy. So in conclusion, he is a must-have for any Generation 1 collection. A couple things to note. There are KOs out there, so if you find them too cheap, you should beware it might be a KO. Or if it's fine, if that's what you want, a KO, that's great. They're labeled as reissues on eBay. That's how you know it's a KO. But for a vintage one, there's a few things to look out for. Make sure it has its accessories. That includes its spoilers, which can be very pricey in the secondary market. His missiles, he comes with 4 of them. He has 2 launchers. His head is sometimes missing, cracks in the windshield, and sticker wear. Anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys in the next review.